Hello, welcome back. Great to have you. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Right now, this painting is going to be about what happens when you don't take time or when you try to gain time. So they are coming off of a new climb, the Col de Spandel, and the road surface which they use around here. In fact, the street in front of my house is this road surface called Chip and Seal. And it's just a terrible surface. And if it's been done recently, it leaves a lot of gravel along, particularly the corners. As cars come out, and on hot days, the tar melts and releases the stone as well. So, shoot. We'll try to make it work. So right now that was, I wanted to show more of him being off the road, which is what's happened to number 2 in the race, Tadej Pogačar in the white jersey. The irony here is that he felt confident that he would be able to blow down the hill and put the race leader, the yellow jersey, into difficulty on the descents. And he did, actually. Just a few moments before this, Jonas Vingegaard overcooked a corner, locked up a rear wheel, and almost went down. But managed to save it. Unfortunately for Tadej, he didn't save it, and over he went. And this is the thing. So the Chip and Seal is a very rough road surface. And I've always been amazed that anybody would race without gloves. I won't even ride without them. Because for many reasons. One, I feel like I have a better grip on the bars because your hands get sweaty. But the main reason is if you go down, you tend to put your hand out first, which is exactly what he did. And on a surface like this, you put your hand out first. You might as well turn on a belt sander and put your hand on it with a really rough grit. I stand baffled as to why anybody would ride without gloves. And I've raced, I ride a lot on roads, I ride out there with cars. So cars can suddenly do things that make you turn suddenly, and you may end up going down. So I don't know why you would do it. And particularly, the Tour, you're going to end up, so he has to get up and finish the stage, of course. But also, now he's going to have road rash on his hands, almost definitely. For those who don't ride, road rash is what those abrasions when you scrape off the skin but don't actually get a full-on cut. It looks a little bit like a rash, and that's why it's called road rash. So Vingegaard had cut the corner correctly and then was wondering why Pogačar was so far out to the edge, and then just cut the inside of the turn right, which is not what Pogačar managed to do. And so he's starting on down the road, but he's sort of looking back and seeing his sliding competitor sliding down the road. And now he's caught in a quandary. It's like, certainly the peloton will slow down, if not, well, they won't stop, but they'll slow down and wait, particularly for the yellow jersey, to get back on, should he be the one that goes down. So I don't know what the etiquette is on like the white jersey going down. But sort of the etiquette of the peloton is you don't take advantage of someone crashing. I say that, and it certainly has happened in the past. Alberto Contador was one who never followed the etiquette. Apparently he is on a motorcycle commentating, kind of like Robbie Hunter is doing in the U.S. broadcast. And so he's doing it for Spanish TV. And when Soler was having his horrible day and was way behind the peloton, he pulled up on the motorcycle and kind of stared at him. And it just felt so false. He stared at him so hard. So, I don't normally get negative, but he made such a point of him being seen staring with a look of concern on his face that it just felt so disingenuous. So anyway, back to that idea of protocol. I mean, there's no rule. It certainly doesn't exist that, if one of your, like your main rival, which certainly these two guys are head and shoulders and or 5 minutes ahead of the next closest competitor. And the man down is a little over 2 minutes. I was trying to do the math in my head, but I can't. So he's 2 minutes and 18 seconds behind the guy still on his bike in the yellow jersey. So it's going to be curious to see what happens when Podegaard gets back up. I'm going to assume he is. It doesn't look, he didn't do one of those terrible crashes where you slam into the hillside or that kind of thing. So I think it's safe to assume, other than a little road rash and a little damaged pride, he's going to be just fine. Hopefully his bike is okay too. That's the other thing that can happen, of course, as he goes down like this. And, with the aggressive lean on the tires, it can blow out the tires. You can end up with a flat. You can bend the brake levers. All kinds of things can happen. Again, I don't think the fault was hard enough, but it certainly does happen where you actually snap the carbon. When I was hit the last time by a car, I was riding an aluminum bike, so my foot dented the frame from the hit. But the forks were carbon. And at first I didn't see it. It wasn't until I kind of, of course I was in the hospital for a while and then got into and the bike got put in the shed. Actually made the guy who hit me bring my bike home. I knew him. And I didn't see it for a while. And I went and looked, it's not hurt that bad. And then I looked at it more closely and noticed the dent in the broken fork. So all that is to say that, these carbon bikes can snap. And if he doesn't have a bike, he's in serious troubles. But I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. So this actually is going to be a pretty big. All these paintings are 4 by 6 inches, in case you were wondering. But it's going to be a pretty quick painting, so I'll make sure to say, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Love to hear your comments, what you think of the race, what you think of how I'm capturing the race, how I'm telling the story of racing. Because this is, I've been breaking a lot of my normal rules. Well, they're self-imposed, so I can break them. But, where was I going with that? So I don't normally paint crashes. I just, it's awful enough, and certainly the riders don't want to relive them. And I don't really want to relive them. I've done this. It hurts. Why would I want to glorify that? But this is going to end up being, perhaps, a very big part of the story. Because if Padre is hurt, or if he can't get a bike, or, his tour could be ending right here, right now, or at least his chance to take over the lead. So it's certainly going to put him behind. And it also, of course, depends on what Fingergo does. Does he sit up and wait? He can certainly afford to. He can afford, and he's been making sure, the last painting from yesterday was him coming over and congratulating Pade for his brilliant stage win, and I think also just for, thanks for the thing. I got, thanks for a great race. But I digress. So anyway, give me a chance. Give me a comment. Tell me what you think. Of course, if you're enjoying this and want to see all of them, the rest of the tour videos, and then also the Tour de Femme, the ladies' tour, which will start the same day the men's end. It's going to be a rough day of painting. Normally I kind of join in the festive mood of the riders as they roll into Paris until they get to the actual racing part of the stage, because all my hard work is over too. So, but I will be painting the women as well. I see again that I forgot to title this and sign it before I start it. Not the first time, probably won't be the last time. For those of you who know art history, this painting reminds me of particularly Pade's Position reminds me of Christie's World by Andrew Wyeth. Go look that painting up. But, so where was I? So anyway, so I will be painting the women, so make sure you give a follow so you can see those pop up as well. I doubt they'll be on air. They're only broadcasting the show on two different days. But anyway, thanks for the watching. Thanks for giving me a follow if you do. Thumbs up at the very least, but also would love to hear what you think. Thank you so much. Last thing, theartofcycling.blogspot.com and gregleach.com. And there's also, I do a buy me coffee if you want to help me keep doing this. Thank you so much.